The story is told about the Ruzhiner. There's a Gemara in Masechta Shabbos which says that what happens if a person is traveling in the desert and forgets that it's Shabbos, forgets what day Shabbos is, loses track of calculations and doesn't know when it's Shabbos. Apparently we're talking about a person who also left his iPhone back in somewhere, so he can't check it up. So what does a person like that do? So the Gemara says, there's machlokes actually. According to one opinion, you count 6 days a week and then you do 1 day Shabbos. According to another opinion, you do 1 day Shabbos, then 6 day week, then 6 days of weekdays. But there are rules. In other words, you're not allowed to do any melacha gemara, any day, whatever. The point isn't the halacha. The point is there's this question. So they say that when the Ruzhiner was learning this Gemara as a child, and when his Melamed taught him this Gemara, the Ruzhiner turns to Melamed and says, I don't understand. How is it possible not to know when Shabbos is? On Shabbos, everything is different. The sky is different. The stars are different. The trees are different. The whole world is different.
Wow.
How is it possible? How is it possible that they should know when Shabbos is? He didn't get it. Because as a tzaddik, even as a young child, obviously he's become very, very spiritually sensitive. He was margish. He was margish the Kedusha of Shabbos. And that's really the truth. The truth is that on Shabbos and Yom Tov there's a special Kedusha within the neshama of every single Yid. And that's why we don't do malacha. Just like it's brought down in this farm of Chassidus, that when you're standing in front of the king, you're standing in front of the king's. Imagine you're standing in the king's palace and you're making bread or you're plowing. It's in front of the king. When you're in front of the king, you don't do any malacha. You stand with a bittul. Shabbos and Yom Tov, there's this incredible kedusha. We're in front of the king, and therefore we don't do work. It's disrespectful. If a person does work on Shabbos and Yom Tov, so they're desecrating, they're being mechalel, they're desecrating the kedusha of Shabbos and Yom Tov that's being meir, that's illuminating within their nefesh at that time. And that's why there is this punishment for it, because of the chilul Shabbos, because you're desecrating the kedusha of Shabbos. You would think that in the nefesh of a tzaddik, the kedusha, you think the Ruzhiner, imagine the kedusha Shabbos that permeated his being. So if theoretically he were to be machal Shabbos, obviously it's a ridiculous thought, but theoretically if he were to be machal Shabbos, so that he's being machal the tremendous kedusha that's permeating, so that's deserving of an incredible punishment. But how about me and you? How about a bur v'ama'aretz gomer? What kind of kedusha is anyways in their nefesh? How much is Shabbos already? If they do an avera, what's the big deal if they're mechal Shabbos? What's the big deal if they eat chametz on Pesach? Well, how much kedusha already are they violating? How much kedusha are they defiling and desecrating? Says the Alter Rebbe, no, you look in the halach, it's the exact same punishment. Why? The kedusha is the exact same within every single one of them. You don't feel it, that's fine. It doesn't change the reality. It's the same idea. So beforehand we were talking about, Alter Rebbe was talking about the idea of mitzvahs. That when you do a mitzvah, when you learn Torah, there's that tremendous kedusha, that yichud, whether or not you feel it. And that kedusha and that yichud is true by every single yid. The same yichud, in other words, that you or the Baal Shem Tov experienced by doing a mitzvah, has by doing a mitzvah is the same. When the Baal Shem Tov put on tefillin, and when you put on tefillin, it's the same kedusha and the same unity with Hashem. The difference is only in the experience of it. The Baal Shem Tov experiences it in a much greater way than me and you. Mm-hmm. So that was when he gave the mitzvah. And now the Alter Rebbe says the same concept also applies to Shabbos and Yom Tov. That's not a mitzvah. Here we're not talking about doing a mitzvah. It's talking about because Hashem loves us so much, and there are certain days of the year, once every 7 days, and certain other days of the year, when the Eibishter imbues our neshama with an incredible kedusha. And you have to know that this kedusha, which is in you on Shabbos and on Yom Tov, it doesn't make a difference your madrega. It doesn't make a difference your experience of it and how much you perceive it or not. That is the mitzvah. That is what it is.